Hey divas, I hope that you're having a great day or night whenever this finds you. We're going to do a little collective reading using my Herb Crafters Tarot deck today. Take what resonates and leave what does not. This message started, I cannot talk. This message started forming as I was getting my cards together and starting to make my way over to my reading station. And if you resonate with the idea of kind of breaking through, and I say breaking through because it feels rather intense, but if you resonate with the idea of breaking through old identities and beliefs that are tied to how you think you are allowed to show up in the world, then this might resonate with you. But if you feel compelled to stick around for any reason, as always, use your discernment, take what resonates and leave what does not. Let's see what we got here. Feels like there's something starting to really take form for somebody. So if you've been working or on a project or pursuing something over an extended period of time, I feel like this is a season or an era where you are starting to see that energy and effort coming together. And Spirit is saying we'll leave it at that because it'll be different for everybody. Okay. Illusions are heavy right now. And for someone, there's a narrative that you keep repeating. There is a storyline that you keep telling yourself is a part of how you are allowed to show up in the world. What is this? Yeah. So I feel like someone maybe repressed who they truly were, who they truly are growing up. They repressed parts of themselves, maybe that you didn't even realize were parts of yourself. Like maybe you didn't even have the time, didn't even have the chance to realize that this was a part of who you were. It feels like almost immediate. Someone was being, I'm hearing like formed and molded and like manipulated from birth. So if that resonates with you, I mean, if that resonates with you, but that doesn't mean that if it doesn't, that this isn't for you. That just felt like something significant for somebody. But there's something here about having to kind of like defend yourself, defend who you are to people. It's the way that it's kind of coming through is that you're so like, for one, there's this weird frustration, there's this weird tension going on, right? And it feels very tied to like familial connections. But it could be just like close circle, right? But it's the energy of someone that has been trying so hard to be well liked and be appreciated by a specific group of people. But no matter what you do, it feels like it's taken the wrong way. And you can do the exact same thing that, let's say, somebody over here does. But for some reason, when it comes to you, when you do it, it gets taken out of, like, things get taken out of context. And I wouldn't even say out of context. It's just like completely distorted. It feels like there's something very different about you, and that makes this group of people, whoever that is, because it's going to be different for every person in this collective, but it makes this group of people very uncomfortable, because they're not denying your power. They're not denying that you have this energy, like about you, that's kind of like the sun, where people gravitate towards you. You're very magnetic. You light up a room. That's kind of like your energy, and you might even be told that a lot. That might be significant for somebody, that specific phrasing. But you're in a season where this is a time for you to build stability for yourself and your life. And I feel like someone is done depending on other people and done kind of waiting around on getting the life that they want. I feel like you've kind of taken the I wouldn't say the slow route by any means, because you're a go-getter, right? But it's this route where other people were like heavily considered, and you're seeing that now. Maybe that was too, like, you wouldn't even say that it's to a fault. You just are identifying that no more, right? It feels almost like there's like this purification process going on, and a deep cleansing is what I'm hearing. So for some of you, there may be lots of crying or rage that's coming up. Pomegranates, peppers, rose petals. Cayenne is what I just pulled. So for someone, it feels like there's like cinnamon could be very significant to you, like apple cinnamon. I feel the need to mention like apple cinnamon tea, which I do have, but like that feels significant for somebody. Maybe like you have an apple cinnamon tea, or maybe you've been feeling like you maybe like you're feeling drawn to herbal teas, herbal remedies lately, and this feels very like Spirit's asking you to like warm your body up. There's a lot of polarity here. So you may be experiencing what feels like kind of extreme highs and lows with your mood, and not even, like, you may notice yourself going from very agitated to very sad. Okay. You've been working towards a goal. You've been working very adamantly, very intentionally, very focused, and like with a goal. Like, you've been very goal oriented really recently. Okay. So you've been really intentionally building. You've been dedicating a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of resources across the board to some specific thing that you're wanting to grow. Okay. It's going to be different for everyone. But it's also important to know when to take a step back from that as well. And that doesn't even mean that you're taking a literal step back from working on this thing, or taking a literal step back from this project. It's just like, hey, invite a little bit more relaxation into your life, invite a little bit more rest into your life, because it feels like there's this tension that's kind of forming. And it is directly correlated to that. And this comes up a lot for this collective, and understandable, because again, like came up, like you're a bunch of go-getters, right? So you tend to be in this very action-oriented mindset, and Spirit is saying like, okay, let's go into receiving mode as well. Let's allow things to flow to us. Cats seem very significant for somebody. Blue jays. You might need to have a tea party. Like, I don't, like, that feels very significant here, but tea came up earlier, and now, like, the imagery on this card is sticking out to me, and it's a tea party. I feel like for someone, natural medicine or like healing your body through herbs and plants is very significant. This is going to serve as a confirmation, but Spirit is saying, like, if you've been feeling like you've been wanting to detox your body in some sort, or maybe specifically your lungs, okay. This is more, I don't know what you would call it, but for someone here, and this is like, this is going to serve as a confirmation. This is not going to be like Spirit putting a message in your ear. This is going to be like, if you've been wanting to do this, here's your message. For someone, you've been wanting to go visit somebody, a family or friend, a family friend, but it feels like there's like a trip, a visit, something to do with nature. We have cacao. Someone really close to your heart, someone that you're able to connect with. A lot of you guys in this collective have been really supported in travel recently. It's a recurring message that's been coming up recently, about fast changes, fast movement. And for a lot of you, or for some of you, ooh, dropping cards, is like a physical movement. And that doesn't even mean permanently. Again, it can resonate to temporary movement. And again, as I'm saying that, it actually feels very tied into rest. So vacation could be very significant for someone. Doing something that brings your inner child joy. 1919 could be very significant. What is this? For someone, be aware of people who don't really have anything supportive to say to you. Like, okay, so the way that this is coming through is someone here is repeatedly sharing news or life updates with somebody, and there's never any like positive like interaction about it, like, wow, that's interesting, or congratulations, or any support. But when they have a doubt, never fails. They'll interrogate, they'll drill you, like it's like there's the energy of someone that is trying to constantly disprove you or disempower you. Being near natural bodies of water could be very significant. Okay, so this keeps trying to come up. We have the Chariot reversed, okay, but the imagery is what's really sticking out. This is cedar. Someone is like, the mess, okay. Let me get this imagery back out. We're gonna flip it over, but there's someone here that's really caught up on like not feeling enough. Okay, so we're not gonna flip it over. This is really what I wanted to say. I just kind of lost my train of thought, but there's someone here that's really caught up on this right here and looking around thinking that there's something that they lack. And Spirit is coming through, and this has to do with like, okay, this feels like it's kind of tying everything together. So you've been holding on to this feeling of lack, and the same way how you were trying so hard to conform to these people that we mentioned earlier, and everything that you do or say, it's just not perceived in the way that you're ever trying to say them or that you mean them. Like there's something always there that's being torn apart or taken incorrectly, and intentionally so. And you've kind of held on to that and harbored that, and you're in a particular season where things are very tense and intense. So you've been putting in a lot of effort. There's a lot of confusion, and it feels like there's not a whole lot of payoff, but you're depleted. Like I wouldn't even say depleted. You're just exhausted, right? And this would be fine because you're doing what you love. This would be fine if you felt rewarded for it. And this is where the imagery comes in, because Spirit is saying, like, you've been foundation building. You've been really getting some stability. You've been getting things really set in stone. You've been planting roots. And this is creating an environment for you to thrive. This is creating a system within yourself where you can adapt to any environment, where you can truly, like, again, travel keeps coming up, where you can truly travel the world and know that you're capable of those experiences that come with that, of trying new things, of trying scary things, not unsafe, but things that are just nerve-wracking because it's new and it's exciting, and there's just a lot of new experiences. And new experiences, though they can be joyful and exciting, they can also be anxiety-inducing, because there's a level of not knowing what to expect. You know, when there are things that we deal with repeatedly, we kind of know what to handle, and even if we don't know what to expect, we know what we can expect to, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I hope that makes sense. Of like, even though it's like, well, we don't know what to expect, there's kind of like, but we can kind of expect this. We just don't know what, you know? But then when you're trying things that are like new, you have no idea. You're naive. Like, you're ignorant in a very like literal sense of just not knowing what you don't know. And that could bring about fear, because the ultimate unknown death, like the other side, what the worst case scenarios that our mind can create that our mind can create. And you've been doing a lot of nervous system work. You've been doing a lot of foundation building so that you can withstand. I'm getting a visual of like a tree that's just started to sprout, and the weather is pretty rough and the wind is blowing and the rain is really hard, but they are rooted, they're firmly planted, and they're not going anywhere. Even if they lose a few branches, even if, you know, whatever, like, they're firmly planted. And this is just kind of representing like where you've been at. So there's no more doubting yourself, no more doubting if you are on the right track. You keep getting messages that you are, and this is serving as another confirmation. But Spirit is really coming through to be like, this is everything that you think it is. You are everything that you think you are, in the best ways. And a lot of you've been learning how to integrate, and that might also be why things are intense. You're being a little hard on yourself, which is why taking a step back from things, grounding, can be very helpful as well, to kind of just get out of the energy, if that makes sense. That feels so intense. Letting things fall. You may be kind of like experiencing a breakthrough, but you might be like on the cusp of that, where things are just really tense and building up and there's a lot of pressure. But it feels like there is something breaking through. Okay, so I'm getting the visual of, we're going back to this imagery of when this first breaks ground, and just that tension and that pressure building up. So keep moving forward, keep staying focused on your goals, and the things that you are working on, things that you are building. Know that you are really building some, like, there's a sense of stability here that's forming, and it's okay to take this time to, like, it's required, right? It feels like there's this like incubator space, and that's kind of like what you're in, and Spirit's saying just a little bit longer, and you can feel it and you can sense it, and yeah, it's coming. You're gonna be all right. Everything's gonna be all right. And even if it's not how you expected it to be, and even if it doesn't feel all right or seem all right in the moment, soon enough things are going to start. I'm like getting a visual of like clouds breaking away. So just cling to that, knowing, don't cling to it. I don't know why I said that, actually, because the way that I would prefer to leave this message would be, know that is coming to you. Stand firm in who you are, and take time to rest. There's a certain level of detachment here that Spirit is asking you to step into and embody, to kind of let go of your hold on these imaginary reins, okay? Because it's really just holding tension in your body. There are things that you're stressed about that are very much outside of your control, and keeping ourselves tense is not, we're not holding on to anything. It isn't service. So we're going to leave the message there. I hope that you are all having a great day. I hope that you're having a great week, great month, and I'm sending you so much love. If you would like to book a private personal reading with me, I will leave my shop link in the description. Have a great rest of your day again, and we'll see you next time.